out there. Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Yes, after a long weekend.
Yes, happy January 17th. We have a terrific guest today. We have Nick Kohn from Avenue Q.
I love Avenue Q so
doesn't?
much. Who doesn't love Avenue Q?
So good.
But before we get to our wonderful guest, we have some news to share with all of you out there. So first of all, the big news this morning, James Monroe Iglehart, Tony winner for Aladdin, is the new Thomas Jefferson and Marquis de Lafayette in Hamilton. Yay! It's a perfect mix for him.
Well, of course, James Monroe Iglehart is part of Freestyle
Exactly.
Love
Him and Lynn go way back.
They go way back.
And he will take over in mid-April for Seth Stewart. So, because James Monroe Iglehart is going to Hamilton, they needed a new Genie, and Major Attaway is going to be playing Genie beginning February 21st.
I really thought you were going to say, like, wish granted, but you didn't go there. It's okay.
No,
that's okay.
All right.
That's awesome news.
Yes, that is. Sunset Boulevard, coming very soon.
Yes.
We are doing a backstage video blog.
Yes, Michael Xavier, two-time Olivier nominee. He's legit.
He is.
He's legit. He's handsome. He can sing like a dream, and he's going to show us backstage at Sunset Boulevard.
I so love the title, Let's Have Lunch.
That's a lyric from the show.
It's so
great. And it's very LA, isn't
also,
it?
yes, let's have
very
lunch.
Hollywood.
The National Theater's upcoming production of Angels in America, which has that crazy cast, Andrew Garfield, Nathan Lane, Russell Tovey, they're going to be broadcasting it in theaters to be announced. We don't know that yet, but we know that Part 1 will be July 20th and Part 2 will be July 27th. I can't wait for that.
Play.
Yeah, I do too.
And look at that cast.
It's ridiculous.
It's a really amazing cast.
And those photos, which are up on the site right now, look amazing.
Moody. They're very moody.
Yes. They are very noir looking.
Very noir moody.
Idina Menzel news.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she spoke to Entertainment Tonight recently. She talked all about beaches. Everyone's excited for beaches.
What day is beaches? Because we have to set our DVRs.
I know. I was going to say, I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's January 21st.
That sounds right.
Listen. Get ready.
Yes.
Just get ready.
So she talks about beaches. She also talks about the Wicked movie.
She's not very happy.
Which she's not thrilled, no. And also she's embarking on a world tour for her new album. And she'll be kicking that off on March 29th in Japan.
And she's planning her wedding.
Yes, and planning a wedding. And
she's
traveling to like 48
person.
cities across the world. So she's
so
busy,
Adina's flying to a place near you.
Yes. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend fans out there, I've actually never watched it, but I know people love it. I know.
Let me say this.
I plan on catching up.
It is very easy to binge watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Right.
So once you start watching it, you can just keep going.
I very much plan on it. You don't throw any hate out there at me. I'm going to watch it.
Hating.
But Rachel Bloom and Jerry O'Connell, who we all love, they are joining that Manhattan concert production one night only presentation of Crazy for You, which is February 19th. Yes, and that also has a ridiculous lineup of people involved. Yes. Fun Home Tony winner Lisa Crone received the Kleban Prize for Musical Theater.
So you guys know who Ed Kleban was.
Yes.
He wrote the lyrics to A Chorus Line, and then there was a musical about him called A Class Act. It was really very interesting.
Yeah.
So she got a little
comes with
$100
grand. Yeah. So write another
Good
musical.
For you, Lisa.
Yeah. Fans, you guys picked the star turns you can't wait for in 2017.
Interestingly, it didn't line up exactly with the shows people are most anticipating, which just spreads the love. I love that.
Yeah, you're unpredictable out there.
You're so unpredictable.
Your number one choice was, and I totally get this, Christian Borle and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Of
course. We're all waiting for that.
Definitely.
A few other fun things on the site right now. There's a hot shot of Broadway's Jersey Boys suiting up for their final curtain call. Frankie Valli was there.
Of course he was.
Yes, it was very overwhelming.
A lot of people in the creative team were there.
Yes.
Yeah, saying goodbye to Jersey Boys for the last time
11
after
years.
11 years of just being awesome on Broadway.
Love that show.
And now Groundhog Day is getting ready to go into the August Wilson Theater.
So lots of things to look forward to. A Bronx Tale, that cast performed Belmont Avenue on the Today Show. They sounded great. Check that out. Jennifer Holliday went on The View.
J Hall.
She explained some things, and
got some stuff off her chest.
Yeah, and so she dropped out of that performance, as we all know, and she sort of gives reasons as to how she arrived at that decision. Right. It's great.
And she sang for the people.
She did
on The View.
And that's that's what we want from Jennifer.
That's all we want.
And there's a photo op and very shortly a video coming up with a significant other cast. They met the press: Gideon Glick, Lindsay Mendez, Rebecca Naomi Jones.
All the good people.
Yes, they're so much fun. Can't wait for that show. A new episode of Broadway Balances America, The King and I. We go behind the scenes of that show. And there is an exclusive peek at show clips from the Bodyguard musical tour with Deborah Cox. You can only watch that on Broadway.com right now. So
Look at that. Look at you exclusive.
Right. So that's all the news. I'll get out of here. Thanks, you.
Ryan Lee Gilbert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick Kohn from Avenue Q.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Beth. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks
I'm
for
so
coming
excited
over.
to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. You are an OG AvQ guy. I can say that, right? I can say
What does that mean?
I'll tell you later. So, what it really
Sure,
means is that
something
you've
good.
been in Avenue Q for a really long time. You know where all the bodies are buried, where all the puppets are kept.
I know all the stories.
You know everything.
All the
You know
blackmail. That's why they can't get
secrets.
rid of me, because I know too much.
No, really, you've been in Avenue Q for how long?
Off and on since my first part with Avenue Q was in the Vegas production in 2005, and then I went to Broadway in 2008, and I've been with it ever since.
And you're the final Broadway cast.
Yes, final.
And then the premiere off-Broadway cast.
Premiere reopening off Broadway
Reopening.
cast, yes. It's the
Awesome.
same show and everything. We just have a little bit smaller things coming from the sky. Nothing coming from the sky, actually, because we don't have a fly space anymore. But
it's like a little
basically the same
downsized,
show.
a little
Yeah, I mean,
downsized.
it's the same show and same cast and same amazing Tony Award-winning everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Tony Award-winning.
Everything.
Because Avenue Q famously beat another musical for the Tony. We
Yes.
don't have to name names. We don't have to go over bygones.
We love that
bygones.
show, and
We
to be
love
honest,
that
we're
show.
all friends.
Yeah.
All of the Wicked and Avenue Q people are actually
So
very
in
close.
Avenue Q, you play Brian.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a puppet.
No, he is a chubby, unemployed wannabe comedian, which before I booked Avenue Q was partially true. So,
Which part? The
all
unemployed
of, okay,
part?
all of
Unemployed part.
it. Some of it's still true. All right.
All right, just let it go, people. So yeah, so you've been in it for a long time, and no, but I think it's fun for you to be one of the, I want to say, adults. in the
Yeah, I mean,
show.
Avenue Q
One
is-
of the not, you don't have your hand up anything.
No,
You're just you.
yeah. I mean, there's one part I have a big puppet head on during the nightmare scene, but that's my only puppeteering experience. But yeah, I mean, Christmas Eve and Brian, they're married, and they're kind of the older, experienced people in Avenue Q, along with Gary
They're
Coleman.
the grown-ups. They're the people they're the most grounded people in the show. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'd say that.
I love Avenue Q.
I do too.
It's so much fun.
It's paid my bills for a long time. it's a really, people say, how do you do Avenue Q for so long? And I said, if it was a serious show, it might be a little bit harder, but because I get to play with puppets and make people laugh every night,
And be a little raunchy and a little wrong.
totally.
A lot wrong. Let's do a little compare and contrast.
All right.
When you first started Avenue Q in 2005 to now, how has your life changed?
Well, I got married and I have a baby.
You have a son, right?
I have a son. He's
How
2
old
years
is he?
old. His name is August, and he is just a dream. He's the best kid ever, and we just love him. And yeah, I mean, we've.
So you grew up too.
I grew up. I definitely have grown up in Avenue Q, and I've seen a lot of things in the show. And Gary Coleman died when we were doing the show, and that was like a
But they
big
kept
thing.
the character.
We
They just
did, and it kind of
soldiered on.
Yeah, and it's Gary Coleman was an amazing guy who had a really rough life, and I'd like to think that we celebrate him and what he went through. And he was always kind of optimistic and happy, and wanted to find the good in life, and that's what we try to do too. So
You've never played that role, huh?
no, I don't have overalls. So
You don't have any overalls. And they're so hard to find. That's weird.
the '90s are coming back though. Have you
They
seen?
seem to be.
Those shirts, the iridescent shirts are back now. So I was like,
I'll look out for that. Like, really look out for that. So we have so many questions from our fans.
please,
because,
hi everyone.
What
Thanks
are
for.
Avenue Q fans called?
We call them Q-tips.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Although we do have also, I think we call them Trekkies
Sure.
instead of Jeckies, or
Trekkies,
Trekkies,
for the
but
Trekkie monster.
yeah, exactly. So
I know the Avenue Q cast. I get it. So Abigail wants to know, what's it like to be in a show for so long, and how do you keep it fresh? That's an excellent question.
lots of drugs and alcohol. No,
Obviously.
we honestly, like, we are. At the end of the day, we have to remember we're playing with puppets and we're doing a comedy show. And somebody said one time, nobody who works in an office, when they leave for the day, everyone doesn't stand up and say, "Oh my gosh, those reports you did
You need
today
to
are
get one of these,
amazing."
people. That's the only way that's going to happen. When you leave your accounting gig,
Yeah.
bring this.
Yeah, can you imagine how much better life would be at your office? No, but it's great. I mean, we have so much fun, and we do have cast turnovers where people book other jobs and they go into other things, and
Is
sometimes.
there a little bit of a loop where they come back and? A little
Oh,
revolving
sure,
door?
yeah, and it's.
Because do you go to? Well, I guess you don't because you're not one of the puppeteers. But they go to Avenue Q like boot camp. Is that true?
Yes, there's a puppet camp they go through.
Puppet camp.
It used to be a couple of weeks. I think it's a little bit shorter now, and they have to. They really put them through the rigors. They put these ping pong balls in their eyes, and they have to learn how to do it. Like, I
Are you-
obviously don't know how to do it, but they They figure the balls out, and then they eventually put the puppets on, and they go from there.
I don't know if anything you just said is true, but I'm going to believe it. I'm just going to believe it because
You're losing fans right now.
I know. How do people? Wait, I'm going to ask one more. So that's how you keep it fresh. Drugs, alcohol, got it.
Yeah.
Alex says, is it hard keeping focus when the... This is a very good question, Alec. Is it hard keeping focus when the puppeteers are visible? Which they are completely in Avenue Q. They're not behind a box or...
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Yes, especially if something goes wrong on stage. And
you have to look at the puppet.
Right, but the first thing you do as an actor is you go to the person and be like, what'd you just do? What did you just do? Or what happened? Or what do I do? How do, you know, we've had crazy things happen where someone... You know, the money song during our show, we go out and we ask for money to build the Montessori school, and people put weird things in hats, and they throw weird things on stage, like money and condoms and
You don't need to
Green
do
bars.
that, you guys. That's not necessary.
No.
The comedy can be on stage. You don't need to participate in the comedy. Just a little pro tip for you. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean...
What's the weirdest thing you found in a hat? I wish I hadn't asked that question.
I mean, there's been an occasional tampon or a condom. No, nothing used. All packaged, which we've been very thankful for.
Not to give anyone ideas.
No.
Let's just leave it at that.
Please, it's a R-rated show, not X. So
correct.
Thanks.
R-rated. Which brings me to the next question. Peyton says, "Has your son seen any shows?"
Oh well,
do you mean Avenue Q shows or do you mean any shows?
Well, he's actually seen Avenue Q. Because he is the mayor of New World Stages. They're very nice to him. They let him run around, and he's a sweet little boy. But he's also like, they let him just do what he wants pretty much. And he comes in to see, Mommy will bring him in and he can see the songs, and then he gets really bored with the book scenes. Sorry, Jeff Whitty, but he gets bored with the book scenes.
Tony Whitty book, August. God.
And then he's also seen the Bubble Show there like a million times, which he
Bubble's
loves.
very good for kids.
And what else has he seen? I think that's...
It's a very exit through gift shop show, but that's okay.
Yeah. I think eventually we'd like to take him to see, Frozen when it comes and Wicked and various things like that.
Sure.
Probably not Book of Mormon, but not now.
It's
maybe
sort of in the vein of Avenue Q. Jaden asks your favorite part of Avenue Q to do.
I would say for now.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What has, there's a line that changes. It started off with George Bush is only for now, because it was back in that time period.
Yeah.
It has changed over time. What are some of the things it has been?
Well, right now it's Donald Trump, which was a no-brainer.
Not a shocker.
We've also had, when the BP oil spill happened, we said BP, and that got a huge laugh. Mm-hmm. We've had Fox News. We've had, we tried various things. We tried Your Mother-in-Law. It didn't go over too well, but it was a good shot. And we tried this show when we closed on Broadway, and then we reopened. Yeah. But Donald Trump has become, it was kind of funny for a while, and now it's kind of, therapeutic in a way.
It is what it is, people. It is what it is. Peyton asks, how do you deal with stage fright?
I don't really have stage fright. The only time I have stage fright is I get more nervous if someone else doesn't know their lines.
Oh, yeah.
And they forget their words, and I kind of freak out a little bit for them. It's more of like a sympathetic freak out. It's not so much.
You can't throw your voice and just
then your immediate thought is like, how do I help you?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to come over here where you're supposed to be standing or something, that kind of thing. But
please let me help you. Yeah. Let me help you.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Oh, do you tend to? Oh, well, we already answered that question.
Hi, everyone who's watching.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah,
hello.
Thanks for watching.
Hello. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Billy wants to know, what's your dream role?
My dream role, there's two actually. I would love to play either King George in Hamilton.
I love that.
Or
I love that idea.
The plant voice in Little Shop.
Wait.
Don't think anyone's going to
I have to break something to you right now.
I don't have overalls for that either.
You're missing something.
This is the problem, so.
You guys, if you want to be an actor, you need to get some overalls, because all the good parts have them. That is a wonderful role to sing.
Yeah. I mean, like realistic roles.
Maybe if you did a puppet. It is sort of a puppet, actually. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Oh, Marissa Lee Kohn.
Oh, that's my wife. Hi, Marissa.
How did you become such a hottie?
Oh, I have a hot wife. She brings me up.
Okay, this is getting really personal. Peyton asks if you have a favorite Wicked song.
Wicked song.
That sounds like a subversive question.
I actually like Wicked a lot. I think it's a great show, and I think Popular is actually a really great song.
I think after you do the plant, you would be an amazing
then I'll be Glinda.
You'd be so good. I think she has to have overalls as well. They're glittery. They're glittery. Kimber asks, are you going to be a stage dad? Is your kid a born star? Are you going to push August? out there. He's
I
already
don't-
the mayor.
I
of
yeah,
theater,
you know,
so-
I want him to definitely be involved in the arts. You know, he
Unless
loves
he doesn't want to.
well, yeah, but he loves music and he loves dancing and he watches stuff on TV. My wife lets him watch musicals and ballet and theater and stuff, and he goes crazy. He loves it, and so
That's great.
I think he's going to love it anyway. But if he doesn't want to do that, then I will take him to all of the big accounting shows in town. You know.
And bring one of
Whatever he
these.
wants to be,
Bring one of
whatever
these. All right, we have to go with one more question. We always get this question, and I'm very interested in your advice. This is from Abigail. Any advice for aspiring actors?
I would say the one thing I think is the most important is to be yourself and love yourself, and don't try to be something that you're not. If you are tall, if you're short, if you're fat, if you're blue, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're whatever, be you, be 100% you, because that's what people want to see behind the table. They don't want you to try to be something you're not. And it's more fun to be an individual snowflake in this business than to try to be something that everybody wants you to be. You're special, you're important, and you need to be you, and that's important. So
That's really good advice. Really good. All right, you guys.
Thank you
Go
so
see
much for
Avenue Q
watching.
At New World Stages, you're definitely going to see this guy, Nick Kohn.
yes,
He knows all the blocking. He knows all the parts.
If
And
anybody
don't
has
put
any
anything
overalls.
weird. Don't put anything weird in the hat. That's all we want to say to you. We'll see you
Bye.
tomorrow. Bye.